The next question are for our two fathers. There's a common theme among three questions. First is a quote from your talk, Father Maudsley. We are serving Satan by receiving the Eucharist in the hand. What is the difference between the tongue and the hand, both of which belong to the body God has given us? The second related question, can a priest or bishop get into trouble by refusing to grant communion on the tongue? And the third question in the same vein, for people who have served as lay extraordinary Eucharistic ministers and or received by the hand, should that be confessed as a sin?
To the second, very briefly, a priest can't get in trouble for giving communion on the tongue with God, and that's what matters. For the first, the difference, in the book of Judith, she says that the enemies of Israel cannot overcome them so long as they're obeying God's law, but that the people in Jerusalem are so terrified by the Assyrian army coming in, they're about to eat the things that are dedicated to God, the stores there in the temple, and even to touch them with their hands, which she says was never conceived or allowed. And that is for Old Testament offerings of wheat or wine. How much more for the Holy Eucharist we shouldn't touch with our hands. Metaphysically, we can do nothing without God. We have to receive from him. And with your hands, it's the idea you're feeding yourself with the Holy Eucharist, as if you can save yourself. When you receive on the tongue, it's clear. You're like a baby. You can't do anything for yourself except receive. And that's the proper attitude we need to have. And the third question was... And then I'll hand over to you, Father.
Does someone have to go to confess?
Lay ministers.
They need to confess. They need to confess if they've touched the Eucharist with that.
When you realise that is not how we should treat the Holy Eucharist, you could confess that you've not been as attentive to God as you should and to his order, and that you've unknowingly sinned against it. So the sin is in the will. It's not strictly speaking a sin, but materially it is, if not formally. But once you become aware of that, then you have to cease. And if you persist, that would certainly be a sinful confession.